Smaulgld.
Hello and welcome to another Smaulgld live stream. It is Saturday, December 29th, 2018. Saturday night silver with Smaulgld. Tonight's topic is silver set to skyrocket or stagnate in 2009. We're going to have an open discussion on that topic. And if you haven't voted already, please vote, because that'd be part of our discussion is what you guys think is going to happen to the price of silver in 2019. And the choices are rise just a little bit, between $1 and $3 an ounce. Fall just a little bit, between $1 and $3 an ounce. Will rise a good amount, $3 to $7 an ounce. Fall a fair amount, which would be a collapse if you fell over $3 to $7 an ounce. Or skyrocket at $7 an ounce. That is the first question. And the second question is, if silver is going to rise, what are the best and most likely reasons, or the most likely reason for silver to rise next year? Would that be a mining slowdown / silver shortage, a financial collapse, an increase in industrial jewelry or silver demand, central bank buying, or country issuing silver as a currency, or silver has been undervalued historically and is undervalued versus gold? So please have a vote on those, and we'll revisit those later on in the program when we have our discussion about what's going to happen to silver next year. First, let's take a look at the news of the day, and then we'll get into our silver topic. We're also going to take a look at some mug shots. So that'll be interesting a little later on in the program as well. But let's take a look at where we are with the news. Some interesting news today, and it's worth mentioning. Some of this kind of stuff goes under the radar. And, well, let me just show you the first bit of news we have here. Muller must be trusted, says GOP task force leaders in ending DOJ investigation. This coming from none other than one Trey Gowdy and Goodlatte. They are both leaving, and they left the GOP with the present that whatever Mueller comes up with, we've got to accept. And I remember Trey Gowdy was a big supporter of the Mueller probe. And Gowdy always talked a good game, but really was never did anything. He had some nice TV appearances where he would drill down on some of the people that he was questioning, but basically, I would say he was all hat, no cattle. And they left let me show you what some of the quotes were with their parting shots on the Mueller investigation. This is, and Trey Gowdy, interesting, he always has a different haircut. It's hard to trust a guy who can't keep the same. It's okay, you change your look once in a while, but every 4 days, every time you see him, he's got a different hairstyle, a little different facial hair. Anyway, let's not get personal. But in the letter, according to the CNN guy here, he says, accusations of trying to undercut the Mueller team are off base. Okay, now remember, there's this whole argument that the Mueller investigation was founded on faulty pretexts, and that there really was no reason to be looking into Russian collusion, and that the people that were involved in the investigation were Trump haters. And it says, whatever product is produced by the special counsel must be trusted by Americans, and that requires asking the tough but fair questions about investigative techniques, both employed and not employed. Republican Chairman Bob Goodlatte and Trey Gowdy sent a letter today announcing the end of their probe into the FBI, both, but also urging further investigation. So that basically is another nail in the coffin of the QAnon trust the plan. It's all part of the plan. Sealed indictments. Nothing can stop what is coming. Sessions, Uber, Q my mom, Q a mom, all that nonsense. Basically, nothing is happening. Nothing has been happening. And the last two Republicans on the way out the door said, and whatever Mueller has to say, you best be trusting that, because that's the real deal. And we'll see what happens, but don't hold your breath for anything to happen with respect to the Clinton Foundation, with respect to any investigation into the tactics used by the Mueller team versus the president. Also, another interesting, I like this one, because I kind of backed off of China for a while, but I think I'm back to discussing it. One of the questions I've had about China, not questions, but an obvious point, is in any type of Ponzi scheme, you obviously get less bang for the buck as you go along, and the same with a debt Ponzi scheme. You know, you can borrow money and throw it into something and get a result, but at some point you start to get diminishing returns. And in fact, over a year ago, one of the People's Bank of China's governors said that they may have reached a Minsky moment where they've essentially issued too much debt and there's not much they can do about it and they're going to collapse. And here you can see a chart, green line showing GDP growth. Used to be 12% back in 2008 and 9. Now it's really down to a pedestrian 6.5% and heading lower, but domestic debt climbing and climbing and climbing. And China's basically admitted that they have to extend and pretend. A lot of that debt is not even performing. And the People's Bank of China instructs the state-owned banks to extend the loans, forgive the loans, convert them into equity, whatever they got to do, loan them more money. But not a good sign in China. But again, a lot of the gold pumpers in America love the China story. China to crush the dollar. Game over. Game changer for the dollar. Oh, don't worry about it. It's just domestic debt that they owe to themselves. Yep, just like our Social Security that we owe to ourselves. Just like our Medicaid, Medicare. All owe to ourselves. Nothing to worry about. Yep, we have a global debt Ponzi scheme. But China, not the United States, is at the forefront of that scheme. What else do we got before we get into our topic and our mug shots? Let's see. Well, Trump today, he's always out and about making his statements. Let's see what he had to say today. The Muller angry Democrats recently deleted approximately 19,000 text messages. Now, just think about this. Hillary deletes 30,000 text messages, runs a private server, gets money from the Russians into the Clinton Foundation, and Trump is under investigation for Russian collusion and for obstruction of justice. These are messages between FBI agent Lisa Page and her lover, Agent Peter Strzok. These texts were asked for and invaluable to the truth of the witch hunt hoax, which, of course, the Congress, according to Trey Gowdy and Goodlack, is not being investigated anymore. This is total obstruction of justice, says Trump. All text demanded. Well, unless he's going to come off the canvas, which would have nothing to do with Q, my mom, nothing to do with Sessions, nothing to do with Huber, nothing to do with any of these guys, but only to do if Trump decides that he's going to fight back. And he has said he's holding back the declassification of documents. He's well aware of the lay of the land, and he's allowing things to fall into place. Some might argue he's cute. I don't know. However, now, worried about the stock market, this is always good for a pump. Trump says just had a good long call with President Xi of China. Deal is moving along very well. If made, it will be comprehensive, covering all subject areas and points of disputes. Big progress being made. And yes, indeed, that would be a big boost depending on how that comes out. Okay, what else do we got? I think we might be ready. Let's see if we got any other stories of the day. Nope, I think we're ready now to go into our silver discussion. We'll see how many votes we've got. But the discussion is more important than the percentages. But let's see what we got here. Uh-oh, we got a moron here.
Presenting the distinguished international news commentator and foreign correspondent.
This has been an extraordinary week in world affairs.
No, I told Hillary Clinton that that's moronic.
That's moronic. Yes, indeed it is. Let's check out those mugshots first before we give you more time to vote. If you haven't voted, go to the community tab over at the Smaulgld YouTube channel. The link is above in the chat under my name, Smaulgld. You could check it out. But I want to show you a couple of mugshots here before we get into the topic of the evening. And here is our first mugshot. There she is, the beautiful Smaulgld super classic mug, coming in at about 5'4", And that indeed is a crime. A steal at $23.99 from the Smaulgld website, packaged directly from Smaulgld headquarters and shipped out priority mail, 2-day priority mail, insured mail as well. Or there is the Smaulgld classic mugshot. There's the mugshot of the Smaulgld classic mug. That one is $19.99, available in the continental USA, shipped directly from Smaulgld headquarters. And then, of course, we've got some others. We have the Smaulgld espresso mug. That's a little tiny one. Still packs a punch if you're putting your black coffee or your espresso in there. That one is available at the Smaulgld store, and I will leave you a link for that. All the links are available on smaulgld.com, but I'll leave a link in the chat box as well. That is the Smaulgld espresso mug. Now, for those of you who like your adult beverages and sodas, there is the Smaulgld frosted mug shot. There he is, 5'8", nice tall 16-ounce mug shot there. That is the Smaulgld frosted mug. We've got a couple of more mug shots here. We have the Smaulgld beer stein, the big beer stein. This is the big kahuna of Smaulgld mugs. I had to shrink it down a bit there. That is 22 ounces of your favorite beverage. Can fit in there. Keeps it nice and cold. It is a tankard or a stein. That is the Smaulgld beer stein mug shot. I got a couple of more mug shots here. For those of you on the go, there is the Smaulgld travel mug shot. There you go. I think that one's about 12 ounces. I use that every morning for coffee. Sometimes if I get called away, I will get in the car. I'll drag that with me. You can turn the top and so it doesn't spill, and then unturn the top and you can drink your favorite beverage. And you can drink some of the, I'd buy some of the coffees from the Smaulgld website as well. So there is your Smaulgld travel mug shot. And there's also, I don't know what you call this. This is a Smaulgld mug shot glass. Look at that. That is the Smaulgld shot glass mug shot. Say that again. The Smaulgld shot glass mug shot. And that is a nice, I think that's a little over 1.5 ounces. I think it might even be 2 ounces. That one I do not have one of. But if you'd like to order those, they are also available from the Smaulgld store. There is the Smaulgld shot glass mug shot. And don't forget the pooch. There is the Smaulgld pet bowl. That one's more suitable for a dog. They come in different sizes. That is the mid-size bowl. As you can see, that is the shortest of all of the Smaulgld mug shots. But indeed, a fine addition to your Smaulgld collection. And remember to live the mug life. All right, well, let's get on now with our Smaulgld Saturday night silver discussion. Now, is silver set to skyrocket, excuse me, or to stagnate in 2019? And let's take a look now at the votes that we have so far, what you guys have been thinking about this. I'm going to copy them now. Voting is still open, but I'm going to take what we have for votes for right now. And I actually differ from some. I'm not in the majority here, but we'll see what we have here. I'll give you my thoughts. I want to get yours first. I'm going to take your thoughts first, and I'm going to tell you, I didn't vote because they don't let you vote, but I'll tell you where I would have voted. So the first vote is on, this is the price. So let me just add this into our price of silver 2019 poll. We'll get that one up. And then the other one is the why you think, what the best reason for silver to rise in 2019 it might be. Let me get that one in here as well. And I'll show those to you. Reasons for silver to rise 2019. All right, let's get the first poll up on the board here. And then I'm going to take your comments and your justifications for all of this. Let's get rid of mug life here. And let's pull up the poll results. Part of the plan. Game over, game changer. Okay. All right, so the first question, silver set to skyrocket or stagnate in 2019. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? All right, let's see here. Make sure there's no comments lingering. We got a handle. Okay. So, do you guys think that silver is set to skyrocket or stagnate in 2019? Now, if you look at it, nobody's expecting it to really go down much lower from here. In fact, only 8%, probably 2 people out of 36, even think that it'll fall $1 or $3. For the most part, most people, almost a majority, 47% think silver will rise just a little bit, but you're not expecting much more than that, although a third of participants thought that silver might rise $3 to $7 to $7 an ounce, and only 11%, probably 3 or 4 of you, think that silver is going to skyrocket. Now, a $7 increase is almost 50% from where we are now. So let's go over now and see what kind of you guys are having side comments here. But let's now focus on, I want to get some of your comments on if you voted that silver will rise just a little bit. Type out your reasons why you think it'll be just a little bit. If you thought silver will fall just a little bit. Remember, start your writing with rise just a little bit, fall just a little bit, rise a good amount, or skyrocket, and then put your rationale next to that. If you think that silver is going to rise just a little bit, add that and explain why. If it's going to fall just a little bit, explain why. If you think it's going to rise a good amount, explain why. And I'm especially interested to hear why you think silver might skyrocket in 2019. And when we're going through all yours, then I'll give you what I would have voted for on that. All right, now on the second question, and you could probably include this in your rationale unless you have different reasons, but the reasons for silver rising might be, these are some of them, a mining slowdown, or in a sense a silver shortage. If you think that is in there, put that next to your answer, and then we'll discuss with you why you think that is the case. A third of you thought a financial collapse might be the best and likely reason for silver to rise in 2019. Only 10% thought that there might be increased industrial and or jewelry and or silver demand. Nobody thought that silver would rise or would rise due to central bank buying or a country issuing silver as a currency. I think that was the, I can't remember his name. He's got like a nice 3 last name. The guy in Mexico, Salinas Price, I think his name is. He was talking about Mexico, or wanting to get Mexico to issue a silver medallion, or not a coin, but just something that reflected an ounce of silver, and throw that into circulation, and then let the price of silver fluctuate, but not stamp a face value on. Very interesting idea. And given that Mexico has silver, the number 1 silver producing country in the world, but that's really gone nowhere. Although some people pumped it as it was imminent, was going to happen. Even Salinas Price mentioned that he's tried this a couple of times. It's just gone nowhere. So I wouldn't have voted for that. But actually, that might be one of the best reasons for silver to rise if countries were to actually issue silver. But I think it would just be a case of that law, not Say's law, the one where the good money, the bad money drives out the good money. I think they would just be, people would just, if you issued silver currency, people would just take them out of circulation. And the last one is silver is undervalued historically and or versus gold, 31%. So that would be a vote for the gold-silver ratio being unsustainable and having to come down, or that silver has just been down so damn long that it looks like up from here. So we'll see. All right, let's see what we got here on your comments. All right. Why don't I handle the comments non-silver first? Let's just get those out of the way. Shark Air is here. He mentions, yeah, somebody voted the video down before they saw it. I guess they must have known it was going to suck, I suppose. Let's see. What else do we got in the comments? If you want to scroll up and get the link for the Smaulgld store, you can do that. And also the Smaulgld.com, you can get that link as well if you want to order your mugs. And if you haven't voted yet, you can do so. The link is above. And I think, let me just see if I got any more votes. I'll use that. Okay. Oh, we did get a few more votes. Yeah. Yeah. All right, but we're close enough on the percentages so that we're not going to change them. Okay. De La Ville is here with a birthday cake. I guess it's your birthday. All right. JRL Innovations. Yes, silver will go up in 2019 while Bitcoin will keep tanking. Gold and silver are real money. Bitcoin is not. Anne has got a little festive there. Mark Archuleta, all the above. Pablo Piña said, Feliz cumpleaños. Okay. Roger Henley says, Elon Musk needs to hurry up with the SpaceX so he can fly to the moon and retrieve all the silver. Shanty Girl is here, waving hello. William Birkenroad, U.S. dollar tops out. I guess you mean the dollar index. Military fallout, gold goes up and silver, the poor man's gold, goes to over 19. Okay, well that would put you in the category of, you would have voted then for the price of silver. If it goes to 19, that would be, rises a good amount. You'd be in the $3 to $7 range. Let's see, Pablo's here. JR Innovations, he's got $22 silver by the end of the year. That would put him in the Skyrocket mode, over $7 an ounce. Okay, hope you voted for that. Silver is gentleman money. JR Innovations, 1650 Bitcoin by end of 2019. So let's just do your gold silver ratio. If you were to do 1650 and divide that by, what did you say? Your silver price was going to be, was 22. Well, your gold silver ratio, it's 75, so it doesn't come down. It comes down a little bit from about 84 to 1 down to 75. That's what I would expect too. I would expect it to come down. And I wouldn't expect silver to go to 22 unless gold had gone up as well. Okay. Roger, I hope the Saud keep dropping in 2019 so metals and currencies are worth more in my local currency. Cryptos are all scam. TRP, silver can't drop below the price of production for very long, if ever. I want to address that now. That is not true. It's definitely not true for gold, because the amount of gold that is available each year that they add via mining is only 2, 3, 4%. So there's plenty of gold to meet demand absent the that current year's gold mined. Now, also in the past, let's go over to silver. In silver, the past few years, silver mining has increased from about 717 million ounces in 2009 to 753 million ounces in 2010, 758 million ounces in 2011, 792 million in 2012, 823 million ounces in 2013, 867 million ounces in 2014, 895 million ounces in 2015. Get what's going on? Greater and greater silver mining production. 2016, 888 million, 2017, 852 million, and they estimate, according to the Silver Institute, 865 million in 2018. That means that there is a lot of silver that has been mined, and therefore, even if you have a year where silver mining goes below the cost of production, and as a result, and it's not even necessarily the case, that silver mines will stop mining. Remember, they have bills to pay. They will even mine at a loss, even if the price goes down. And if they do, that amount year isn't going to go down. So it would take a while before silver mining production would actually drop significantly. And even then, there would be a delayed effect because there should be enough silver around in circulation, and based on the last few years worth of additional production, that it's not going to impact the prices right away. Now, eventually, obviously, if silver mining production or gold mining production continues to go down, 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 and they never make any more, at some point, then you will see a rise in the price, just because you're going to have to meet demand from secondary sources, and there's a limited amount of secondary sources if you don't replenish it from mining sources. So I think that's a misnomer. A lot of people keep saying if the price goes down, then essentially it puts a floor on the price of silver, because then the miners will stop and there won't be silver, and then it'll just readjust itself right away. That's not necessarily the case. Pablo Pina, okay, you guys are in Canada. Bitcoin can tank to zero with one government law. That's true, but it depends on which government it is, and we're not seeing that in any way, shape, or form from the United States. They are looking to regulate. Is there are taxes. We were talking, we got cut off here a bit, but I think the stream, there it is, it's back again. I was talking about if there was a decrease or a cessation of certain silver mining, that it wouldn't have an immediate impact on the price, because we've mined a lot of silver in the past few years, increasing mining production. There's a lot of secondary supply. And also, if the price of silver were to drop, that doesn't mean that the primary miners would cease mining. A lot of them would continue to mine even at a loss. And even if they did stop producing, there's also secondary mining production that occurs where they probably would continue to produce silver as long as they were making money profitably from other metals. So I think it's a misnomer to say that if the price of silver falls below the price of production, it would somehow correct itself very quickly. That's not necessarily the case, because you may not either have a decrease in production, even at lower costs to the price of production, or even if they did slow down, you might have to get a significant decrease in the amount of production in a given year for it to have an impact, and then it would have to slowly work its way through the market for it to have an impact on the price. Now, let's see, there was another question here that our friend, TRP said that Bitcoin can tank to zero with one government law. That's true. It depends on what the government is. It's not the United States government. The United States is fully looking to regulate ICOs. They have a website up called sec.gov/ICO. They've already said that Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum are not securities. They're looking to regulate. And the reason for that is they want taxation. They also know that the Wall Street investment houses, they want the trading fees, they want the storage fees. So they're not looking to outlaw or ban Bitcoin in any way. In fact, India has changed its stance. It looks like they're also going to go for regulation. So I wouldn't expect that. The reason that Bitcoin or any of the cryptocurrency, and remember, there's a difference between cryptocurrencies and ICOs, but the reason any of them might fail would be ICOs would fail if they have no business proposition. Just like any IPO, the company's no good. It's not going to make any money. It's the same with an ICO. It'll go to zero. If it's pumped and it has nothing behind it, then it's not going to do well. Same with the cryptocurrencies. If they don't get any adoption, there's no interest in them, there's no trading in them, then of course they can go down as well. But I don't think it's going to be a government action that's going to do that. In fact, I actually believe it's the other way around, that governments are going to promote them as a source of what? Increasing asset prices. They love to increase asset prices without having to do anything for the economy. Creates the, quote, wealth effect. And people buy stuff, they spend stuff with the money that they make, or the profits they make from their rising asset prices. And what easier way to put money or profits back into the system than boosting cryptocurrencies? They go up in value, then people spend them. And as long as they have them under control, they have them through regulated exchanges, and the on-ramp and the off-ramp is all tracked, and the price of those things goes up, then people will spend them on expensive items and create a wealth effect. That's just what I see happening. It may not be the case, but I don't see government spending a lot of time trying to ban them. The other thing I hear a lot, which it really doesn't make any sense when people keep saying it's the mark of the beast. I think people are missing what the mark of the beast is. The mark of the beast refers to that section in the Bible. It's actually the last section in the Bible, Revelation. And it talks about the... It talks about a prophecy in which no man might buy or sell save that he has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that mark would be received on his right hand or on his forehead. Now, that idea is essentially a forced saying you will not be able to transact unless you transact in the way we say you do. Well, that is essentially what legal tender laws are without the chip in the hand and the thing in the forehead. But cryptocurrencies are voluntary. You don't have to use them. They're not government issued. And in fact, one of the things that we're seeing, which is really, you can say, a kind of mark of the beast, is when PayPal or Patreon says, you cannot transact. You will not be allowed to use our service to receive funding because we don't like what you say. Well, Bitcoin or Litecoin or those cryptocurrencies are a way around that. There is no permission required to use those cryptocurrencies. That's why I don't understand when people keep saying that cryptocurrencies are the mark of the beast. One could argue that government issued or corporate related payment systems, digital payment systems, are indeed, because they basically say you cannot buy or sell lest you have the mark or using their service. But what Bitcoin and Litecoin and other cryptocurrencies, not ICOs, allow you to do is transact without that prohibition. So I don't understand that concept. I can understand if you want to say digital currencies or forced use of currencies. Yes, indeed. But just because something is digital doesn't mean it's forced. All right. Didn't mean to get off on that tangent, but I hear that a lot, and it's incorrect. Jarrett innovation scams or not, they appear to have fiat value so they can buy something. Well, that's the whole thing. Look, I was totally against cryptocurrencies on the basis that there was no intrinsic value to them whatsoever. There still isn't. I'm also against fiat currencies for the same reason. There is no intrinsic value to them. However, the value that they have, when people say they're worthless, it's nuts, because the value that they have is they can be used as a medium of exchange to immediately buy stuff. Now, whether they're stores of value is a different story, but right now I'd love to have a stack of dollar bills in front of me. I'd love to have a bank account full of digital tens, ones, threes, sevens in my bank account so I could spend it. Now, would I want to hold dollars for 30 years? No. But there's a difference between a store of value and a currency. And cryptocurrencies and digital currencies and dollars and euros are worth something right now, right here, right now at the moment. When people say they're worthless, they're toilet paper, you know what I say to that? I'll say you this right now. If you have any of them and you think that they're worthless, then please, by all means, send them to the address on your screen right now. Smaulgld LLC, P.O. Box 714, Dover, New Hampshire, 03820. Also, if you have any extra Bitcoin or Litecoin, you can send that my way as well. All right, let's get back now. We got to get back to silver because that's what we're here to talk about. Bitcoin can't buy anything. I don't know where you get that from. Of course you can buy stuff with Bitcoin. So let's see. Okay. Mentally, I buy people's strawberries. And what does Smaulgld do with the Bitcoin? Convert it into fiat currency through a payment processor. Then I have dollars. And I can spend those dollars on whatever I want to. A 5'2" mug for only $19.99. All in, says KZ Gixer. All right. Welcome to the Smaulgld Mug Club Game Changers. All right. You guys are talking about your Bitcoin. I don't want to talk about Bitcoin. All right. Let's see. Let's get into... You guys are talking about Muller. Sorry about that diatribe there. I got off the thing here. Michelle Obama, most admired. Well, it's interesting. These most admired things depends on who you ask. They try to make it universal. Like everyone admires Michelle and everyone admires Obama. There's portions of the population that do and don't. But the media obviously does, and so they try to claim that he's their most admired people. All right. Let's see. All right, De La Ville. Oh, no. Our first comment on the silver is Prashanti Girl. She says rise a little bit, and her rationale is on economic fear. Also drop a bit as money flows into the dollar. Okay? K7 Gixer says if Trump gets the weak dollar, he's looking for more than PMs will increase in value. So he's thinking that the dollar will go down a little bit, and then PMs will increase. William Birkenroad says they'll rise a good amount, and please tell me why. Roger, let's see, right? Sean Fullcut says rise a good amount because of economic conditions, not necessarily a collapse, I take it, but economic conditions not being so okay. Phillips says the silver price will continue to be rigged. I don't disagree with that, but there's still the price of silver does move even when it's rigged. So which way do you think it'll move? De La Ville says rise just a little bit. People fearing global instability and a little industrial demand. Okay. And Holloman probably fill up unless they decide to bubble it. Paper silver should be illegal. Well, if people want it, that's the problem. If people want to buy it, they're going to buy it. So what can you do? Let's see. Who else got some thoughts here? Yeah, JR Innovation says so much malinvestment needs to be wiped out. Yeah, eventually, but they just keep kicking that can down the road. Oh, De La Ville says it's not her birthday. She hit the emoji accidentally. Okay, well, we're going to take back the birthday wishes. Wish you well. Anyway, Crypto Shrugged author just showed up. Okay. Can we get Lewis to sing you happy birthday? Maybe I'll do it Louis Armstrong style. But we'll do that in June. We'll say, hello, De La Ville. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Roger Henley. Wait, Bixmere mines all his gold from the Grand Canyon. Muis says that silver is at an all-time inflation-adjusted low. That's part of my answer. Does it mean it's a bad hedge against inflation, or there's another reason for it? Oh, and you guys are commenting that you lost me. Yes. Then I came back. All right. The majority of silver produced per year, says K7 Gixon 1000, is the byproduct of mining other metals, so the cost of producing much silver is zero. And I think that's a very good point, because I think that's one of the main reasons that we don't have an accurate amount of silver accounted for. I think there's probably more silver mined each year than is accounted for on the Silver Institutes and the Reuters and the GFS surveys. I think a lot of mega mining companies will produce silver and there won't be a line item for it, and they'll get paid for it, and it'll be insignificant to their overall results, but it may be 30, 40, 50 million ounces, and it just never gets recorded anywhere or properly estimated. So that's a very good point. Hey, Lewis, that package had my wrong address on it. Uh-oh. It never delivered. Now, that's odd. Can you send me an email? I'll have to track it down because I do have a tracking number on your package, and it's also insured. So please send me an email. And how would you know it had the wrong address on it if it never got delivered? Or does it say it got delivered? Very curious, Seth. So please send me an email, and we'll track down that package, or we'll just send out another one while I'm tracking it down. All right. If Bitcoin goes up, they all rise, says Pablo. Well, that's true. Says Roger. JR, silver has gone down for 10 years. And yes, let's take a look now at some silver charts, because that's very important about the silver price. And that'll tie into my answer. Okay, here's the 1-year chart, and you can see we're at the low end of the year. I mean, the low end was actually in mid-November when the price was just at 14, a little bit under, and we've bounced off that low to about 1535. But you can see, you know, since June, July, we've gone nothing but straight down. So that gives me some, I think we've got some ground to make up there. But let's look at the 10-year chart, and you'll see that there's an issue. All right, there's your 10-year chart. Now this is almost classic bubble chart. You can see it went up, came down, bounced along the bottom for a while, and it looks like it's pretty much built a base since 2016. So it's pretty much a 3-year $15 price. At least every year it came close. It was in the $15 range. Did get as high as $21 during the Brexit. That was for a short time, and it came right back down to the $15, $16 range. And you can see now this year it's also bounced along the bottom as well. I think we're going to leave that chart up. Yeah. Okay, what else do we got? Silver is heavily manipulated by central banks. Bitcoin is not yet. Maybe, you know, that could be heavily manipulated already. The silver prices, you know, I mean the Bitcoin prices. Smaulgld, says Roger Henley. Mugs are the mark of the beast. I don't think so. Unless you wear it on your head, or you're forced to wear it on your head, I don't see how it could be. Prashanti Girl says, I agree with Lewis 100% on this. I don't know what we're talking about, but happy you agree. Or you can disagree. It doesn't bother me. What determines Bitcoin price to rise, Pablo asks, is Trump says, buy the dip. Yeah, I am fed up. Anyone who makes predictions and constantly makes them and makes them wrong, they should just shut up. I've seen Bitcoin predictions from people last year. It's going to go 50,000, 100,000, 1 million. And now they're out there saying, 3,000, 1,500 is within view. Yeah, when the price goes down, you lower your prediction. When the price is going up, you throw it out there. And all you do is get a lot of attention. You have no idea what you're talking about. But experts say Bitcoin could hit 50,000 by the end of the year. Same experts say it could go as low as 1,000, could go to 1,500. They don't know. It's the same with silver set to skyrocket every year. And when it doesn't, well, the markets just don't know what I know. Huh. Okay. Great excuse there. All right, what else do we got here? Murray Rothbard. This cultured thug. It's a big night for Litecoin every night at 7:30 Smaulgld live. Oh, actually, yes. K7 Gixer 1000. Big night for Litecoin being advertised during the UFC Jones Gustafsson fight. Yes, indeed. They're doing the Litecoin Foundation. Somehow managed to get the Litecoin symbol, I think, on the canvas for the fight tonight. Nominal Egg. I haven't seen you in a while. He says, I buy silver numismatics primarily from the Perth Mint, and the premiums have quadrupled on many more of them. Well, that's an important point. While silver has gone down, basically every asset has gone up, including art. And I guess you can call numismatics. Many numismatics have risen. They don't have to be like gold or silver. Just they can be old coins that have good grades. And I think they've gone up as well. Yeah. Oh, on the mark of the beast stuff, yes. And people need to pay $99 for WebBot report to successfully predict the future. There are people, I'm telling you, they believe in Q My Mom. They believe in WebBot. They believe in anything. They believe in Bull Pony. They believe in anything. They believe JP Morgan's got how many ounces of silver. Anything that gives them hope, they believe in. And then if you don't believe in it, the argument is you can't prove it's not true, or you're a shill, or you're a disinformation agent. Yep, people love the narrative. They love the predictions. And they can be wrong, but as long as that person, well, he stands by what he says. He can be wrong 10 years in a row. He's not wrong. He's early. All right, well, I'm going to give you my prediction. In my prediction, you're going to be probably pretty surprised. I believe in Q My Mom and mugs. Yes, Prashanti Girl. I believe in those two things. Mugs are real wealth. All right, let's go to the questions. And I'm going to tell you what I think, and you might be a bit surprised by what I have in my predictions. Price of silver. Will silver set to skyrocket or stagnate in 2009? Silver will. My answer, skyrocket. $7+ an ounce. I didn't get to vote, but that is what I believe. I believe that silver will get over $21 in 2019. It's just my opinion. It's not investment advice. Don't go buying a bunch of silver because I say it's going to go higher. I say it's going to go higher because that chart has shown that we have just bounced along the bottom. I think that it is probably one of the only assets in the world that hasn't even gone up in the last 10 years. I think we're going to have difficulty boosting the stock prices much higher. I do think we're going to have a bit of a crypto run up as well. I think there's going to be a move into alternative assets, not for any major reason, but just because they're down. Cryptocurrencies are down 80, 95%. People will pick out some of those and boost those higher. Not all of them, but some of them. Silver is clearly down. It's been down. It's a small market. Won't take much for it to move higher. I'm not sure that there's going to be a big interest in trying to keep the price below $20. I think maybe if it gets above 20, you might see some greater attention on knocking it down, but I don't think so. Also, remember, the European Union is going to end its QE. They may start raising interest rates. It's going to be hard to keep the asset prices of real estate, stock markets moving higher. The ones that are going to be easier to move up are the ones that are at the bottom, and they are silver and cryptos. And I believe that they're going to get a bit of a boost. They may not go to all-time highs, but it's not going to, I mean, it is a skyrocket. If silver goes up 50%, it goes up $7. It doesn't sound like much, but that is a skyrocket. That's 50%. And again, we're at the low end of the 2018 range. Now, what else do I think is going to happen on the reasons? I don't think it's going to be a financial collapse. I think it's the last one. Silver is undervalued historically, and I think it is undervalued versus gold. I think there's a reason for the high gold-silver ratio because gold has a much more solid monetary underpinning, has a much more solid Chinese and Indian physical buying under it than silver does. There's also some weakness in industrial silver. A lot of people don't know this, but 2010, the amount of silver used in electronics fabrication was what's the number here? Is 633 million ounces, and last year it was 596. So that number isn't going higher. The industrial uses are not skyrocketing. There are more uses for silver every day, yes, but not in larger amounts. The investment side on silver is down as well over the last few years. And jewelry is the only one that's gone higher, from 241 million ounces in 2010 to 253 million ounces this year. So I think you're going to continue to see jewelry sales. You'll see a pickup in industry maybe. But I think the main reason that silver will go higher will be because of investment silver demand. People looking at something that's lower, they want to throw some money at something that's undervalued where everything else is overvalued. You don't have to have a lot of people doing that. You don't even have to have a return to the investment silver demand of 2015. Just an increase over the last 2 years, atrocious years of investment silver demand. So if you look at the investment side, coins, rounds, and bars, there were almost 300 million ounces in 2015, and this year they're going to be about 125 million. You've lost 60-70% of the silver demand from 2015 for investment. I think you'll see a pickup in investment. A large portion of it, I think, will be in the ETFs. I think you'll see U.S. Mint silver sales go up a bit and around the world, and that, I think, might drive the price of silver up $7, with the caveat that gold will also have to be going higher as well. And I like what JR Innovations was saying, that you'll have a higher gold price. And I tend to think that, yes, if gold gets to $1,650, then you will get silver at 21, and you'll get a lower gold-silver ratio, something in the 70s, not necessarily down to 30-1 or 16-1 or some ridiculous thing like that. But my realistic price targets are, if gold takes off a bit, and we get sideways at best in the stock market, and we still have turmoil with the Republicans and the Democrats and Europe and the yellow vests and China and all that stuff, that it's possible that the two metals will, by my definition, skyrocket. But I think 50% is skyrocket. But we'll just have to track it during the year. But those are my rationales. It's not I'm going to stick by it all year. If things change during the year as they change, I'll say, well, I don't think it's going to happen, or I think it is going to happen. But when you see these people make predictions, $50,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year, and then it's, $1,500 by the end of the year, you're just making predictions to make them. Now, I'm just laying this out because we got everyone's opinion, and I think the rationale would be it's just been down so long that it's not going to take much for it to go higher. It's interesting, very few people think it would actually get down below $11, $10 an ounce. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Oh, we got a lot of questions since then. Oh, okay, not Mark of the Beast. They believe there is man in the sky watching their every... Okay, good day, mate. Ann says, silver, please go up. Jean-Remy Osario says, buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Shanty Girl says, silver, please go down. Interesting. Ann Holloman, skyrocket to 21. Yeah, well, that is sky. I mean, we get spoiled when you see these 1,000% increases, 500% increases. 50% is a skyrocket. I mean, in today's interest rate environment, you put money in the bank, you get 1 or 2%. You get 50%, you're doing pretty good. By the big jump. I hope you're right, Lewis, she says. So it's not too late, in your opinion, to increase one's positions in silver, says Presentigo. Well, that all depends on what you're doing. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. And everyone's circumstances are different. Some people have all their money in silver. Some people have none of their money in silver. Some people have bought silver in the past. Depends on where you are, what you can afford to lay. It just depends. All right, let's see. I think silver will go to $600 because the Webmont report said that. Yep. Small's been listening to Bull Pony. I don't listen to Bull Pony. Never have. I did like 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, I'm not listening to that stuff. Okay. Where is a demand for silver to push it up? Okay. See, that's a misnomer on the demand side, because that's like saying, where are the earnings to push up stock prices? They're not there. It's just where money flows. And my view is that the markets are fake. The markets they don't run on fundamentals. So, yes, you're right. If it was pure supply and demand, then there'd be no reason for silver to go higher. But when money flows into stuff nowadays, just on the basis of charts, on the basis of value, undervalue, whatever, look at Tesla. The company makes no money, has no indicia that it'll ever make money. It's worth billions of dollars. And you could say, well, where are the profits to justify it? They're not there. So I agree. I'm not saying that on the basis, that's why I didn't pick increased industrial jewelry or silver demand or silver shortage or I said just silver's undervalued historically versus gold. It's just on the basis that compared to everything else, it's lower price. That's all. And you could be right. Silver is just as likely to stay flat. Could be. Could be. All right. LOL. Kareem, hey there, got the Stein. Oh, you got your Smaulgld Stein. Happy holidays. Every December, January, they say silver will jump. I don't see it. It's an industrial metal. Yes, it is an industrial metal. And you don't hear me saying every year silver's going to rise. I look at it historically, although every few years it does rise. My guess is this year it will. I don't come out every year pounding the table. Silver is the greatest thing on earth. We can't lead our lives without silver. Buy my silver. I don't say that. I'm just analyzing it this year. Well, let's see. Luis, when are you going to start making silver mugs? Says Michael Fowell. Double game changer. Yeah. Pablo Pena says political issues arising with Trump brewing his stews will push silver up. Well, that's true. Kareem R., how do you feel about XRP taking over SWIFT system possibly? That would be a game changer. I'm not sure that's going to happen, although XRP is the one cryptocurrency that has all that institutional, centralized, Bernanke likes it, so who knows? Who knows? All right, let's see. She's buying reports. World markets are slowing down, says mate. Less industrial demand. Absolutely true. And I noticed that in the numbers. The other thing about industrial demand, mate, is there is thrifting. So even if you have an increase in solar panel production or an increase in electronic manufacturing, you could still have a decrease in the amount of silver required. Because they use less silver per solar panel, less silver per electronics because they're smaller. They substitute a little bit here and there for something else. So, yes, I'm not basing my prediction on a massive increase in silver demand. If that silver demand does come, I expect it to come from industry. From investment, not from industry. A little bit in jewelry may go down if we have a worse economy. So the increase in demand would come from investment and the price would go higher purely as a function of traders chasing the price higher. That's it. I'm not making a fundamental analysis. I'm saying that silver is undervalued historically and versus gold. There's a trade there. It's not a fundamental position I'm taking, mate. I'm well aware of the fundamentals and I'm not basing on that. And again, look at the stock market. It's not based on fundamentals. And what are cryptocurrencies based on? There's no fundamentals. They go up and they go down. I mean, today, I didn't give you the crypto prices today. Might as well do that right now. And I haven't looked at them in an hour. Since we've been on, they've probably moved again. But let's see here. I know cryptos were up. And then when I got on the blower here, they were down. And now they moved up a little bit. So Bitcoin is at 3,730, it down 4%. Ethereum at 132, down 3.44%. Bitcoin Cash at 161, down 5%. Litecoin at $30.84, down 4.5%. But Litecoin was up for a while, near $33. Bitcoin was at $39.15. It was up $200 more than it is now. So who knows why, though? I mean, did something happen in the last hour and a half fundamentally to change the outlook? No, they just go up and they go down. So my silver prediction is based on largely on sentiment, largely on just a reallocation of some money going into silver. It's not, and as Roger says, money flowing into Smaulgld mugs, so they must be fake. Yes, these mugs though are real wealth, and you should get them. And order your mugs today. Go back and look at the mug shots, select the one that you want, and order away. Mate says, mugs to the moon, buy them quick before they go to 10,000 a cup. Yes. Buy it. Right. Well, if you're going to trade the price, that's right. You buy the SLV. It says buying the metals is not a trade. No, because as we've seen, you then have to, someone here was telling us that you have to then package up the bullion, send it out, and there's a transaction cost there, and you get less on the other side of that deal. So if you buy Silver Eagles right now, let's take a look at what they are. Yeah, so let's say I'm right, and let's say silver goes up to $21 an ounce. Let's go to ATMEX. Right now, if you were to say, okay, I'm going to buy silver, but I'm going to buy Silver Eagles, have them shipped either to storage or to your house, that's going to cost you, let's see, and you're not going to buy much. Yeah, I mean, right now, ATMEX is charging for, well, this is the 2017. Maybe they're charging a premium on it. Let me get the most current one. They are charging for, let's say you buy a roll, which would be 20 coins. They're going to charge you for that roll, random or 2018. They're going to charge more for the 19. They're going to charge you $19, $19.50 or $18.85. And with the shipping, it's going to be like $20. Price of silver goes to $21, which is a big, big gain What's going to happen? Atmex will probably pay you $21, $22 at most. So you'll make like $2 or $3. You won't make the full 50%. So when you buy the bullion, you have that whole, you pay a premium on the front end, and then you get back half the premium when you sell it. But there's already a massive premium right now because price of silver is $15, and you're paying, you're paying $3 premium here already. Yeah, so you're right. The trade would be in the SLV. Or you can buy pooled silver to trade. Yes, they have that as well. Or, as Mate says, Perthman is metal backing trading platform, and I guess Gold Money and Bullion Vault have something similar. Why buy silver and pay shipping? Says BW, buy over $100 shipping is free. Yes, but shipping it back is not free, right? You'd have to ship it back, insure it, and the issue with the coins are they're more, I think, just to have than they are to. You really have to get a massive. You have to get like the $40 or $50 to make sense to lose the premiums that you lose on both sides. But again, that's store of value concept. That's not the same thing as using them as currency, or unless you're in a barter situation. All right, well, let's reconvene tomorrow night. I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening, and don't forget to get your Smaulgld mugs. And Seth, please shoot me an email. We'll sort out your mug, where it is, what happened to it, and see you tomorrow night.